Good evening, people. How are we doing today? Fuck. No. We are back playing more of Rogue Trader Heretical playthrough with DLC. I'm just sitting here looking at how different things are looking on the characters, and it's my character looks. It looks heretical. Let's put it that way. Less than 35 intelligence. 5+ toughness. You know what? No. You're putting that on Avalard. I need to find him a better off weapon. Plan for today is to tackle a bit of the new content and see where we go from there. Already explored. Okay. Again, scan. It's one of the rally points we have. Okay, great. I'm going for Riken Minoris first. Because more stuff unlocks, that means I can do more, have a bit more free choice on what to do, and yeah. That's the plan anyway.
As the ship makes its way through the star system, a strange fatigue falls over you. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the quill you have been using to draw up yet another order falls from your hand. You raise your head with a start. Someone else is here, in your study. You stand up and stare at the dozens upon dozens of corpses surrounding you. Among their number, you recognize the disfigured and blooded faces of those who died on the ship's bridge and those you met in your previous life. How is this possible? Where are the enforcers posted to stand guard? It matters not, you are alone against a horde of heretics risen from the darkness to take your life. As if of its own accord, the shard lying on the edge of the desk, the sole remnant of Conrad Voigtva's weapon, slips into your hand. The metal is searing cold. The dead sway from side to side, closing in around you in a nightmarishly slow advance.
Kneel before the Rogue Trader. Your lives belong to me.
All you hear in response is unintelligible voices, whispers, moans, and derisive laughter. Anger ignites your chest, and you clutch the shard, which ravenously bites into your palm with its sharp edge. An unbearably bright light floods everything around, and you find yourself surrounded by groveling minions, their bodies shivering in your mere presence. Your hands no longer hold a pitiful shard, but a majestic and intricate weapon, a skillfully crafted sword with strange, unnerving proportions, a curved design, and an unusual hilt adorned with the image of a closed eye. The eye opens wide, revealing a gaze so ancient and dark that it steals your breath away. You have felt this gaze before, there, on the bridge, and the voice that appears in your mind only confirms your guess. The tapestry is woven. The path is chosen. Accept your fate, champion.
I am the sword's master, not its servant. Remember that.
You feel the sword's immense weight pulling you down. You resist its will for a moment longer before collapsing to the ground to the sound of odious laughter. The strain is such that you fear your back could break at any moment. Vorg, the first dawn, is hereby woven into the tapestry of your fate. Seek the second dawn in the hands of she who rises above its future dominion. The former aspirant fell, and thus the new one will become the chosen of the Weaver of Destinies. Make mortals serve you as their god, and become the vessel of the edge. You awaken from the vision kneeling next to your desk, clothes drenched in sweat and with a sour taste on your tongue. Your head is ringing, and you struggle to recall those faces and the image of the sword in your hands. Only the deep cut on your palm and the blooded shard lying on the floor remind you of what just transpired.
Heretical, pick up the shards.
You reach your shaking hand out to the shard, now slippery with your blood. You wipe its metallic surface and stash your treasure under your clothes, next to your heart and soul forever seared by the great power of the warp.
Didn't get another piece, huh? Each reward I... Where's dodge? Yep. Yep. We're going to continue on. Up to the bridge. As I said, we're going heretical, and we're going heretical as much as we can. I don't have anything against looking up stuff and things like that. This is not my first playthrough. Yep. This is not my first playthrough, and I have no plans of going like easy. Not doing stuff. I have ideas on what to get for certain characters that make them really good. So we will see.
The starport greets you with the din of ordnance, and the smell of explosives tickles your nostrils. It is difficult to tell through the smoke who is firing at whom. Among the cracked rockcrete and bent plasteel, you notice a man in the warden's uniform. He stares at the gleaming gold of your shuttle in surprise.
Did the governor send his personal guards? No matter. What are you standing there for, meat? Are you waiting for the rebels to blast your bucket again for good measure? The skies over the capital are blocked by enemy fire, all aerial traffic has been halted. What pest gave you clearance to deploy? Pa, by all the saints. I'm Sergeant Malger, and you lot report to me now. Straighten yourselves out and drag your arses after me, I'll map out a defense sector for you.
By the end of his tirade, the sergeant's voice grows quieter as his eyes focus on your expensive gear. Abelard turns purple.
By the Holy Throne, what is this mess?
Idira glances around.
They're in a rough spot, old man. Go easy on them.
Abelard enlightened this rabble about the proper manners of greeting the God Emperor's chosen.
Abelard clears his throat.
You stand before rogue traitor von Valancius, you ignorant worm. Snap to attention this instant and give her ladyship a formal report.
With a mixture of awe and terror, he snaps to attention, raises his freshly cut chin like an exemplary soldier, and barks.
My mistake, ma'am. At once. The starport is under the control of the governor's wardens. Perimeter commander is Sargia.
A frag grenade explosion cuts off the rest of the sergeant's words. Shrapnel flies everywhere with a piercing screech. One of the soldiers falls to the ground, clutching the remains of his forearm that is now adorned with crimson tatters. Blood is pouring out of the stump, and the soldier's agony is short-lived. The sergeant curses and hastily says an army prayer for the dead. With a rasping cough, the sergeant turns back to you.
Pardon me, ma'am. Sergeant Lasse Malger reporting. My unit is holding the starport on the governor's orders. How may I serve?
Some dirty dogs nearly shot my shuttle down.
Affirmative, your ladyship, ma'am. It's all those damned rebels. Those maggots somehow got their hands on an anti-aircraft battery and it's causing our shuttles no end of trouble. That thing really packs a punch. You're lucky they missed you. I've seen them fry 2 shuttles carrying reinforcements. Not a soul survived.
What's going on here?
Unrest, ma'am. Armed rebellions in both the capital and the provinces. First the lower levels sparked, then it went up the spires. They hit the Vox hubs, the arsenals, the mag train stations. My unit was here when it all went to the Groxes. The tech priests linked to satellites reported sightings of strange void ships in the system. They were orbiting the star until one of them set course for landing on Ricad Majoris. The governor took precautionary measures and ordered to increase security at the key facilities. Everyone knows that whenever something's not right, you better double the warden details. The alarm was raised, and we were sent to secure the starport. There is fighting in the capital, but we're holding strong, giving no quarter to the rebels. The Emperor protects.
The sergeant's voice is brimming with daring confidence.
How can a pathetic rebellion be the cause of enough lackluster welcome ceremony in honor of the rogue traders and all of this is an insult?
Apologies, your ladyship, ma'am. I couldn't have known, I wasn't notified. Had we known we were expecting such an eminent visitor, we would have, you know, at the double, with all due devotion.
Do you happen to know if the member of the Inquisition has come here?
At the word Inquisition, the sergeant's face fills with awe.
I don't know, ma'am. There definitely haven't been any visitors like that on my watch. You might have to inquire at the headquarters, your ladyship, ma'am.
I'm going to see the governor.
If I may report, ma'am, as long as the rebels keep shooting their damned anti-aircraft battery, there is absolutely no way to shuttle you to the governor. It would have to be on foot, and the streets are dangerous. I have no one to send with you as an escort. I assigned all available troops to accompany the esteemed tech priest to the governor. I will voxcast orders to them to wait for you. And I'll inform headquarters, they better send out a convoy to meet you halfway. Meanwhile,
Edira frowns as her gaze grows distant, as if she is looking through the sergeant.
You're a good soldier, but you've got a lot of blood on your hands, both yours and others. You know, the same hand that salutes now might falter in darkness. Rank and epaulets won't save you from the bitterness.
Pardon me, my lady, but I can't get my head round these fancy words you're saying. I've seen plenty of blood, but, trust me, I'll fight till my last drop.
You're a fool. The governor, who is safe and sound in the rear, has left you for dead, and you're here preaching about glory. Is the path ahead dangerous? What exactly awaits me there?
Nothing good.
The sergeant sighs heavily.
Those bastards will shoot anyone walking the streets. Our own troops were ordered to fire without warning. You better move with caution, ma'am. On top of everything else, we mined the streets when we were pulling out.
The sergeant's answer is not particularly helpful. When danger is all around you in many forms, it is impossible to prepare for it.
What tech priest?
A very important person from the Adeptus Mechanicus arrived on the last shuttle before they locked down the sky. He kept on asking whether anyone by the name of Amarant or Marnat or something like that had recently arrived. Barely answered any of our questions, though, said he was under no obligation to tell us anything. He demanded to talk to the governor personally, so I had to send a quarter of my troops with him to keep trouble at bay.
You are a fool. The guy who is safe and sound in the rear has left you for dead. Here, preaching about glory.
A shadow of doubt crosses the sergeant's face.
No surprise there. It's a soldier's lot to serve and die. Not the governor's, though. That's not his duty.
He gives you a flustered look. Another explosion interrupts the sergeant's words. With a sigh of relief, he turns to his soldiers and spits out a booming series of commands.
Okay.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Here is the kicker. You can find a lot of the things by looking at the map. A lot of things.
May his light harden
Some other
our
things you
hearts.
need to actually have
New
awareness, so you
trials
need to run
await us
past
in
it
this place.
to get them.
It's going from bad to worse. I expected a typical...
An attempt at defiance.
Cross them!
I don't want to see that.
Hold on!
The unrighteous have come to take all that we have from us. Let us stand united, my brethren. To battle.
I'm here, maggot.
Ouch. Power swing? What?
slaughter someone. I will endure.
Did they just kill more of their own members than mine? Looks like it.
Schemes within schemes. Huh. What if...
Let's get to it!
Okay. And move it.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Get to it.
Yeah, they're killing more of their own characters than I'm touching them.
Doubt is for the weak.
Okay.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Meh.
Here we go.
And they're going to shoot their own teammate again, aren't they? No!
Let's get to it.
They're not. Okay, fair
Hold
enough.
on.
But of course. Be gone.
What is that? Increase the weapon skill and ballistic for every, as well as 1 damage for every level of raging woe. Applies a raging woe equal to the level. Okay. You don't have enough weapon.
I will
Okay.
do my duty. Weapon at the ready.
Scared yet?
Let's make it quick. Let's get to it.
Voice of command. What is it voice of command does?
Let's get to it.
40% on so
Another
12 plus the
scar to
characteristics.
my collection. Oh, a wicked thought. Predictable downfall. Guided by faith. I refuse.
Six, 19.
I'll do it.
66. Okay, that's on cooldown. Didn't think that through.
Let's get to it.
maggots. My faith shields me.
Hold on.
He's actually taking a beating. What the fuck?
I've suffered worse.
On it.
Buff him up.
At your beck and call.
Oh,
Ah, careful now.
medkit.
Indeed.
Then do that, and we are done. You're going to shoot on me.
Your sacrifice is inspiring.
They took what? That's fucking bullshit.
Fate claims another one.
Let's get to it.
Why did I
Here
not
we
foresee
go.
this? The doors of oblivion yawn wide.
Oh, that's high level bullshit. I have 1 health left. 1 health left.
What is this foreboding?
Just a few off, huh? Don't have virgin on that either.
Was that you? Or
At your beck and call.
There's a rebel gunner there as well.
My ears are ringing.
You're going to die, I'm having a feeling of.
let's see. A predictable downfall.
Exploit. Make a free attack against a target. Can't. Okay, you're going
Schemes
to.
within schemes within schemes.
Let's get to it. We're at a tactical disadvantage.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Really?
Cover me. Anything else? Farewell.
Victory is imminent.
Perception intelligence. Sake.
What lies beyond?
You know what? We're going to load. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to continue on. One over here as well. Okay, actually has a sword. Okay.
In this tapestry of a world, I
Blind woman?
am the rogue thread.
It's like, folk, you don't have to come closer. I don't have to shoot you. Gain true vision, renounce the false. and everything will be revealed.
The young, shaggy-haired soldier is still pale. Nonetheless, as you approach, he holsters his pistol, the hallmark of good discipline. He gives you a somewhat frightened but genuine smile.
Thank you, my lady. You arrived in the nick of time. I don't know what those babbling creeps wanted with me, but it definitely wasn't anything good.
Who are you?
Lucky Jaspa, the governor's aide and personal Vox operator. I was dispatched to the starport on special orders.
The young man proclaims, desperately trying to tame his tousled hair.
And what exactly are you doing here on your own?
Following Governor Medina's special instructions, namely.
He grits his teeth with a pained expression, furrowing his brow.
Oh, right, it's a secret assignment, I can't talk about it.
Whatever your punishment you're afraid of, I can do worse. You better start talking. I'm a rogue trader. Why don't I simply order you to tell me everything? And then it's all well within my rights.
A rogue trader?
After casting a quick glance over your gear, he nods in understanding.
Oh, so you must be from House von Valancius's ship. The starport's auger surveillance station reported that it had detected your ship entering the system. Then you heaved to, sent a shuttle to another unidentified ship, a very strange one at that, and then that ship departed.
Jasper pauses for a second, then mumbles.
But, the auger surveillance station's reports are not to be disclosed to third parties. But you know that already, don't you? Well, alright, if you really are a rogue trader, I'll tell you everything.
So why did they send you to the starport?
I'm supposed to deliver updated Vox codes and, how should I put it, assess the situation. The planet is a real mess at the moment. The rebels have found their way into our VoxNet and are now eavesdropping. This made proper communication impossible. The hallowed electrodynamic cenobium had sent out a distress call before it went dark. And who even knows what's happening in the system? There's been a riot on Ricadiphilia, the prison planetoid. Urak V station is silent, although, the navigators there have always been a reclusive bunch. I was hoping I'd be lucky enough to run into a pilot or the captain here who could give me an update, but that's hardly a possibility right now. The rebels are blasting anything that tries to land out of the sky with their damn cannon.
He stops talking, a little too abruptly.
Brutally maim him. Tell me about Eureka 5.
There's not much anyone could tell you about it. That station belongs to the novice Nobilite themselves. Emperor knows what they do up there or who even lives there. They scorn ordinary folk. The only person they're willing to grace with an audience is the esteemed Yvain Winterscale.
Okay.
It is beginning to sound like he is complaining.
That place is creepy. They say they order shuttles with servants from Rykad Minories on a regular basis. I guess they're too important up there to change filters and clean compartments themselves, hey? Except, I've never met anyone who has served there. It's like no one ever comes back.
There's something else you're hiding from me, isn't there? More classified secrets?
Jasper looks away.
It's nothing classified, just personal. There's another reason why I'm here. My betrothed is missing. Raquel Vickery, the esteemed Yvain Winterscale's personal pilot. When the riot reports came from Ricadiphilia, Lord Yvain headed there personally. Then this rebellion started down here, and we lost communication. No one knows how they're doing up there. You know what I'm afraid of? That they'll come back, and those rebel scumbags will shoot them out of the sky. I wanted to find a place that's high up, set up a voxcaster there, and send them a transmission. The sky is closed off, don't try to land, but I didn't make it in time. Those blind dogs chased after me, and as I was running, I tripped and broke the caster.
He hangs his head sadly.
I worry for her. She's an excellent pilot, but I still worry.
Abelard shakes his head disapprovingly, but his eyes are understanding.
That is why all members of a Void Ship clan share the same employment. No matter how devoted a servant of the Emperor is to their duty, there is always the danger that family ties might disrupt regulations and order.
I hope that no harm comes to her.
The Emperor protects, my lady. If someone you love is in trouble right now, may he protect them too.
Who is Yvain Winterscale.
The esteemed and honorable scion of blessed rogue trader Caligos Winterscale, master of the Rykad system. At the behest of his illustrious father, or grandfather, or uncle, well, his illustrious relative, Lord Yvain took up residence on Rykad Minories.
Jasper's face betrays a fierce inner struggle before he blurts out.
You know what I think? I find it curious that blessed Caligos didn't make him the ruler of our world. Lord Yvain is his blood, but it's the governor who rules us. Then why do you think he sent him here? I think he's been exiled.
Do you think the governor can handle the rebellion?
Jasper mumbles evasively.
Well, obviously. I'm not some pessimist to say otherwise.
I won't tell anyone.
You really won't? Well then, if you ask me, things are pretty rotten.
His words come flying at the rate of stubber fire.
Those rebels are strange. We would have easily quelled a normal riot. We're not some commoners, we're Rykadians, the naval elite of House Winterscale. But those people, they're vicious. They know no fear. And their attacks, they're so precise, it's like they know what's going to happen ahead of time. The command executed 7 officers on suspicion of espionage, but it's not about spying. They say the leader of the rebels is some two-faced Aurora who can see into the future. Now, she is the real danger.
Idira scoffs and rubs her hands together in excitement.
She can see into the future, is that right? We'll see about that. She's up against the wrong psyker. My breezy whispers may be vague, but they've not failed me once. I can tell you without asking my ethereal friends that her future doesn't look too bright now that the Lord Captain is involved.
It was my pleasure to be of service to you, my lady. It's been nice to chat to someone normal.
He glances warily at the body of the nearest blinded lunatic.
You saying that to Psyker is weird. Are you unharmed, soldier?
All thanks to you, my lady. Those blind lunatics are all over the city right now. These rebels, damn them to the void, go around maiming anyone they get their hands on and scorching their eyes. Then
He lowers his voice and adds with gravity.
the command doesn't want anyone to talk about it, but I've heard whispers that it's not just some nonsense, it's heresy, actual heresy. Because listening to it scrambles your brain. It made one patrolman freeze in his tracks while the blind mob got hold of him and carried him from his post off to who knows where. You're right, we shouldn't stay here or we might run into rebels. I'll go find a safe place to watch the sky for any landing shuttles. May the Emperor protect you, my lady.
Okay.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Written
Compared
on
to
the side of the
naval
shuttle
service,
in
that
pilot's
was barely
lowly
a
slang are the
challenge.
words, "Do not touch." A shipment of tithes to the blessed Lord Captain Caligos Winterscale.
Oh,
Perhaps there is something worth your attention in this shuttle.
it's mine now. Commander cloak. Okay. Don't have any officer characters.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Wait, do we have anything? Might actually have something interesting over here. No, not really.
Hey, another annoyance. Afraid.
Show them no mercy.
Rebel commander. Okay.
Let's make it quick.
The unrighteous have come to take all that we have from us.
Get to it.
Let us stand united, my brethren,
Out of my way.
to battle.
Bad. I'm still standing.
Ouch.
Time to slaughter someone.
Here we go. Hold on.
Ouch. I think the best thing to do is just take out all those three.
Be gone.
Then buff you up. So this staff actually doesn't... It doesn't affect veil degradation. Okay.
Will do.
I have vague memory of that was the case before. Okay, smoke grenade.
Out of my way.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. As the Emperor commands. Doubt is for the weak. This is unacceptable. As the Emperor commands, eradicate it. Each strike is a prayer.
What is that? Revel in slaughter. Yeah.
Let's get to it. Scared yet?
Oh. Ooh.
Let's get to it.
Oh. Agatha does not have that much health, that's for sure.
Oh, a genius at work.
Sweep. Swing. That will apply a bleed to you.
Let's see.
Okay.
Follow my lead. I will do my duty. Reduce to dust. We'll rule the stars themselves. It will be done. At your beck and call. Here we go.
Okay. Task first is just get health up on characters.
Let's get to it.
Okay, what are you going to do? Oh, you killed your own. And okay, what you have shotgun secondary.
On it. What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Okay, good.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
Almost. Almost. I can't use that in...
What if?
My place is at the fore.
I kind of want to lock up.
Someone else can do this. It will be done.
Lock up the commander.
At your beck and call. Hold on.
From the ashes, I will rise. Emperor, protect the fallen.
Oh,
Let's make it quick. Brace yourself, Abelard.
Will do. Well.
I'll do it.
Oh, you missed.
Victory is imminent. It will be done. Indeed. Let's get to it.
Don't hit me. Oh.
They who discern the future on the battlefield. Be gone.
Okay. Fuck. It's getting worse and worse.
This ocular implant was a worthwhile
Whoop.
investment.
Pyro staff, okay.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Okay.
One step at a time, amidst the
Okay.
madness.
We have some stuff over here we haven't looted either. Knives and bodysuits. Knives and bodysuits. New last pistol might actually be fairly good. Okay, let's see what we have here now then. We have a new pair of shoes. Whenever the wearer deals damage to an enemy, there's a gain. Okay, that going on our Abelard. He's currently the most geared person we have. Get a carapace on you. He's in heavy armor as well. Okay, let's upgrade here now. Okay, so wanna go for stuff that is related to pyromancy, I think. Burning blood. When the Psyker uses psychic power, all enemies adjacent to the Psyker suffer 4 indirect damage. The same happens when the Psyker suffers damage from burning, bleeding, and melee attacks. Okay. A random enemy within 2 cells of the initial target suffers half of the damage that does not trigger this talent again. Okay, so fair enough. Resolve by veil token. Inscription. Psyker inscription. Costs 0 AP. Deals direct damage to Psyker equal to the maximum. Next psychic power used after this ability does not trigger psychic phenomena. Okay. Force weapon deal 2 more damage and have... we don't really have a force weapon. We are going... Where is it? Blazing Inferno. No. Fire Within. No. Backdraft was it? Yeah, Backdraft. Perception. Complete. Abelard, what do we have for you? Haunting Scream, no. Forceful Strike is a good way of... Next, gain 8+ damage and ignored. Every enemy who survives the attack enhance this ability. Okay, and we're going Coercion. Idra, what do we have for you? What do we have for you? Predictive downfall. Fate bring allies under the effect of psychic powers gain. Yeah. Willpower. Yep. Agatha, what do we have for you? Ballistic skills, yes. Rapid fire. Deals 100% damage and has additional. Concentrated fire. Yep. Okay.
What lies beyond?
And now we go in here. Let's see what's in here. Tech use.
An expected result.
We got ourselves a Deathworld Origin Light Flat Jacket. Base armor plus 10 parry chance against melee attacks. You don't have Hive World, right? Nothing else?
The drums exude a caustic smell of promethium. Thankfully, the rebels have not yet reached them and set this place ablaze.
Over there.
Failed.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
What is that? The Emperor favors me today. Duty prevails.
There's going to be more mines, no question about it.
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
Okay. That's the troops.
Change is coming. The edge is nigh.
The blinded ones are harmless. No sense in shooting them and drawing attention.
Fire on the nearest target! Don't kill the tech priest! We need to take him alive!
Knowledge find it, and let their enemies breathe not.
What's he doing? Fall back!
That's not good.
May knowledge be thy fate. Let the cycle be discontinued.
Okay.
The man dressed in crimson should not have survived an explosion like that. However, he is alive. You hear the wheezing of the respirator that covers half of his face.
Not another step.
A trill comes from the folds of the partially smoldering crimson ornament. It is binaric speech, the sacred language of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The binaric hymn transforms into a vox-synthesized voice that sounds like thunder rolling over a vast plain.
Not another step.
Flee, for I am death.
His gaunt hand rises to stop you, and immediately your vox howls in pain and your machine equipment starts crackling. The tech priest's blazing power axe disgorges a cloud of righteous sparks, and his visor glows menacingly in blue and green.
Flee, for I am death.
By the throne! What is that servant of the Omnissiah made of? Adamantine?
Probably, yeah.
Blast it!
Maintain composed silence.
A Bellard steps forward to shield you from the stranger.
Rogue trader von Valancius greets you, honored tech priest, and graciously grants you permission to remain in her presence.
I identify you as a member of a high stratum belonging to Rogue Trader House von Valancius. I am detecting no need for confrontation. The convoy received an order to meet you. It is no longer functional. Therefore, I propose that we continue to advance to the rendezvous point with the governor's soldiers.
He starts resolutely forward, his mechadendrite rising gracefully around his hunched figure, which is illuminated by the flames of the smoldering remains of the machine.
2. Point at the exploded machine. How did you manage to kill off a slew of people and blow up a sacred machine without even laying a finger on it?
This was my doing.
The tech priest turns around and stares aghast at the burning remains as if he had nothing to do with what just happened. His vox produces a mournful prayer.
This was my doing.
The voices are being weird about him. They're saying garbled, conflicting things. Like they're talking about completely different people. But he's not a threat to you. Even if that's a bit hard to believe after all the fireworks.
I identify as Magus Pascal Haneman of the priesthood of Mars. By the grace of the Omnissiah, I am currently assigned to the maintenance personnel of the station Altar Templum Calixis X-17.
You do not even know how you caused such an explosion.
The Omnissiah granted me a revelation. The spirit of this machine was dying, but it wished to perform a service, for such was its design. I sensed this and appealed to it. I do not know how I did it. I merely followed my intuition. The understanding granted by the Omnissiah was not permanent. It has left me.
Why do you wish to see the governor?
I came here to carry out a sacred mission. My mentor, Archmagus Amonat, summoned me, and I hastened to answer his call. But the rabble's unrest prevented our meeting, and I was on my way to Governor Medina to determine my mentor's current location. My escort was ordered by their commander to discontinue their movement and await to be merged with your group. Then, due to their incompetence, they let themselves be killed. It was an unacceptable complication to my task.
I invite you to my retinue.
Acknowledged. Predicting successful and mutually beneficial cooperation.
Pinnacle of weaponry. First attack in the combat with plasma. Deal additional 4 damage. The remainder bonus 2. While wearing heavy armor, forgeful character cannot fall prone. Aiming protocols. Pascalian. Okay, first things first. I want to look at every time Pascal uses a plasma or a melta weapon, his damage with these weapons increase by 9%. Stacks. If Pascal does not shoot for 1 round, he loses the stacks. Okay. Perception. His melee attacks deal additional damage and gain armor penetration. Right there. I want to pick up Medicae Mechadendrites. That's the first thing we're picking up from him. And then we're picking up Pinnacle of Weaponry, I think. No. Against Forge Roller character, gain 3+ deflection against the burning effect. Flame weapons. Can we be based on intelligence instead of fellowship. How are you with stats actually? No. That is a good one overall. Pascal's melee attack. My Pascal attack effect. Plasma. Mechadendrite pushing an enemy away. That one. If memory serves me right, he doesn't actually have a plasma weapon to begin with. No, he does not. He has a last weapon. So that is something we need to start to deal with. And we are going for that staff as well. Yeah.
There will be no peace in my wake.
This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment.
That's a fair bit of goods. I am wondering right now if we have more mines. I think there should be more mines.
An entire procession of cargo servitors was destroyed by gunfire, and not a single one of them attempted to flee.
Patience. Oh, my nerves are frayed.
No, we got a new bolter.
When the faithful
is
are
that one
idle,
better than
heresy
one you
grows.
have? I get the... It has same ammo. It has one lower fire rate, but it has more damage overall. So we're going with that one.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Okay. Oh. First grenades.
Every one of the dead have had their eyes ruthlessly burned.
You left the Novus Imperialis of the rogue trader. Do you ever regret it, Seneschal?
No, I do not regret it in the least. Serving in the Imperial Navy is a fine thing to do.
Synthskin.
And it was only under Lady Theodora that I truly felt the significance of what I was doing.
I am the rogue threat.
Okay, and down we go again. Quit whining. Whinging. I've seen Tech Priest do it twice. I once brought a sensor to him of course they'll listen. Alert, profane violation of the algorithm.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Pascal.
Access received.
Portal is blessed with multifunctionality.
Oh, what an amusing attempt at defiance!
I'll bleed you dry.
We have 2 with guns.
That is not the Emperor's will.
No, no, it is.
I refuse.
There is movement in the Empyrean.
Okay. That has a bit longer range, but I can't see anyone from there. Okay, great.
Time to slaughter someone.
Flesh is weak, yet iron knows no pain.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. At your beck and call.
You actually killed someone with your last gun.
Out of my way.
Show me what you've got. How do you like it?
Damage is negligible. As the tactical imperative dictates. Request approved.
Okay, so that one actually eats up that. Okay, fair enough.
Let's get to it.
Rejoice in battle! This is unacceptable. Eradicated.
I know what is to come. But of course,
He's actually surviving. Okay, that's more than I
It will be
actually
done.
thought would
I
happen.
took care of this one.
Scared yet?
No, not really.
It's nothing.
Activate calculated fury algorithm. The scriptural probe of significant value.
Collect.
What lies beyond?
I'm pretty sure I looked up this.
An entire procession of cargo servitors was destroyed by gunfire, and not a
Yeah.
single one of them attempted to flee.
Okay, and we're off to the next one. The combat is a bit rough. Uh, Underway extends across extensive high rolling waters, imposing Australian building design. Flatter vanity of the Can I just break through there?
They will see.
Okay, that's
yes,
that one
they
again.
all will see.
Okay.
This mansion must have been damaged by an explosion or a large shell. You can still see some of its former luxury within. The young man in a planetary guard uniform looks very pale. There is a feverish gleam in his eyes.
Your ladyship? At last. Private Camille Reggie is at your command.
He hesitates.
I was in the convoy the governor sent out to meet you. The convoy was ambushed by rebels. I'm the only survivor. Nevertheless, I'm ready to show you the way to the command center where the governor is awaiting you. The success to failure ratio of combat objectives completion for this world's military speaks to its subpar efficiency. I will advise the local ruler to seek my fraternity's aid in upgrading their troops to servitorminables.
The tech priest's words make Private Regius grow pale and instinctively pull his helmet down tighter.
What is it, soldier? Why are you so nervous?
The soldier grows paler still.
Please forgive me, your ladyship. I was left all alone, and it's been scary, waiting for you. That's why.
How did you make it out alive if your entire convoy perished?
I don't know, I just did somehow. There was an ambush, everything was going boom and bang around me, and I kept firing back till I saw our commander lying there with a hole in his head, and everybody else, too. I was alive, and the enemy had retreated.
What can you tell me about the insurgency?
There's not a lot to tell. We were taught that the ungrateful rabble often rebels against the lawful authorities.
Comes Camille's rote answer. But then he continues in a slightly different tone.
For the past couple of years, we, haven't been doing very well. 2 major earthquakes in both hemispheres, with lots of casualties and destruction. Then the tech priests tinkered with something they shouldn't have, and we had lives lost to a series of substation explosions. Then, on top of all that, there were the new taxes. The governor needed to be able to report to his lordship Collegos that the army's numbers and equipment supplies had increased as planned.
The young man falls silent and looks at you with apprehension.
Are you implying that the governor's... it is the governor's fault, and he has been failing in his duties?
I beg of you, your ladyship, I'm not implying anything. Why would I? I'm just telling you what's been happening. So, about the rebellion, where was I? Well, there were rumors that it was all happening for a reason. The earthquakes, the Red Robes problems, and then there were those weird prophets. No eyes, scratched them out themselves, by the looks of it, and they kept going on about the final dawn. You know, the end of the world is near, repent or you'll be doomed, that sort of thing. I don't know when they first began to appear, but they've definitely been out there for at least a year. Some got caught and burned, of course. But heretic burnings aren't exactly rare. They catch someone every month. That's why nobody noticed the new ones for a while. But as soon as the rebellion started, there were hundreds of them coming out of the woodwork. Wandering about, muttering away, and none of them had eyes. You'll see for yourself, there's plenty of them on this highway. So that's that. You can't tell anymore if the rebellion's just because of the taxes and the disasters or, if the end of the world really is coming.
Talking, let's go to the command center.
Yes, your ladyship. The command center is a straight walk from the starport. It's at the end of the upper way, not too far from here. But we must proceed carefully. Emperor forbid we get ambushed again.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
Something large and heavy plowed down the entire width of the street. You can only guess what could have caused such damage.
Shuttle, presumably.
The temple door does not budge. It may be blocked by rubble from the other side.
Let's go.
Unlocked.
Patience? My nerves are frayed.
We should deal with this.
Did you want something?
The Emperor sets my path. Never doubt me.
Okay.
There are traces of a recent battle everywhere, including bodies in planetary guard uniforms. The soldiers' bodies and the general aftermath of the battle suggest that the attackers knew.
Our poor lads. They deserve proper last honors, not to be lying here like this.
Camille looks away from the bodies.
The battlefield looks highly suspicious. Half of you comrades never... fuck
1.
it.
The battlefield looks highly suspicious. Half of your comrades never even had the chance to draw their weapons. And the direction of the shots, as well, the attackers knew exactly what path the group would take and how large it would be.
The young man looks at you in slight confusion.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, we were ambushed. But it was all over so quickly. It's a miracle I survived. I was lucky to be behind cover when it began.
Aim your weapons at the private. Too many parts of your story fail to add up. I'm beginning to wonder if you are a traitor.
What? No. What doesn't add up? I'm the only survivor out of my entire squad, do you understand? All of my friends are dead, they're lying over there. I could have fled or hidden, but I chose to come all the way here to warn you, and you.
Idira sniffs and says gently.
Reconsider, Lord Captain, have mercy on the boy. He's been so awfully stressed, it's a wonder he can even talk. Bit of a simpleton, that's all. I sense no cunning in him.
Is that what your gift of prophecy is telling you?
Warped if I know. With this cacophony in my head there's no damn telling if it's their voices or my gut feeling. Either way, my instinct tells me that he's innocent.
Fine, let's keep walking.
The guard says gloomily and looks away.
Curiosity sings in my veins. Let us seize the moment.
What advice do you seek?
I'm listening.
My whispers crave entertainment.
I'm restless.
Ugh, this master-crafted patella augment is not fit for a servitor. Oh,
Oh, glorious spectacle of your demise!
Spare none of them! Let's get to it! That is not my destiny. What is this foreboding? Anything else? Will do. Farewell.
Fire started seems to be in the
On
main.
here, maggot!
Rebel troop. You know what? Just light you on fire.
Schemes within schemes.
Hold on.
Guided by faith.
I only hit one there. I go there. Can
As
only
the
hit you
Emperor
there.
commands, I
Okay.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Mine?
Doubt is for the weak. Each strike is a prayer.
Boom! Headshot. Pascal. What is your range on your axe? Okay.
Heavy is the tread of his faithful. Functions successfully terminated.
Head flying away.
over there.
Hello there, guy.
I will do my...
They who discern the future own the battlefield.
Time to slaughter someone.
I've suffered worse.
The storm approaches.
Melee weapon. Just light you on fire instead.
See.
Let's make it quick.
Did you hit anything else other than the barrel? I don't think so.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Really now? Okay.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Explorators know one route. Forward. The Messiah condemns you.
He's taken care of. Okay, great.
A tactically sound approach. It will be done. One fewer target.
Let's get to it.
Okay. They are actually starting to fire back now.
There is movement in the Empyrean.
I'll do it. Power resides in the will of the righteous. Doubt is for the weak.
Come on.
I'll do it.
20%. I believe in you. Well, clearly it
As the
wasn't
Emperor
enough.
commands, I act. I'll do it.
Show me what you've got.
That's not enough.
Follow my lead. Indeed. At your beck and call.
Out of my way.
I'm not so sure. No can do.
Can't yell at you, can't yell at you, can't sap you, can't sap you.
Anything
Can
else?
buff you with that. Nope. Can't do anything with you.
Doubt is for the weak.
Just a minor setback. My place is at the fore. I'd rather not. Grey hair, sure hand. It will be done. I took care of
That's
this one.
one dealt with. And now we're just going to yell at him.
But of course.
A gust of cold wind ruffles your hair.
The soldier looks around, a little dazed. He is pressing his hand down on a fresh wound.
How is this possible? Updating data catalog. The characteristic tendency of the planetary defense forces of Rakadminories to run into ambushes is not a consequence of chance or negligence. It can only be explained as some twisted variation of combat tactics. This phenomenon is depressing.
I'm curious that this is the second squadron your lead ended up in a rebel ambush. Do you have anything to say in your in defense? Private.
What? No. I'm not a traitor. I'd never lead my fellows into the line of fire. Never.
Help the wounded man. I shall help you now, but as soon as we reach the governor, you're going into custody.
Why? What did I do? Your ladyship, they won't even bother to look into the matter. They'll just march me to the wall and shoot me.
The soldier lowers his head glumly, accepting his fate.
Oh, we have hand flamers.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Shut up. More goods here. Also known to that. We have rebel troopers down here as well. Loot everything.
Do you see that?
No, I do not. Okay. More stuff here.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Whenever the wearer falls on a stasis field temporarily recovers toughness bonus. Okay, that's actually good.
Numerous pumps, compressors, and other machines are thrumming away on the lower levels of the Great Bridge.
Oh, what an amusing attempt at defiance!
I'll turn you into corpse starch.
Agatha, you're actually first. And elbowed.
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Okay.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
And I missed. Okay. I'm just going to move here and just go straight into him.
Call. I will do my duty.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's get to it.
Reduce to dust.
Rebel gunner.
My faith strengthens me.
Idra. What do we do with Idra?
What an unfortunate turn of fate. On it.
As the tactical imperative dictates. Running by Heretical.
Let's make it quick.
Even I won't do that. Fake claims another one.
Move around. Move, shoot, move, shoot.
I'm not interested.
Stay vigilant.
Cover me! Anything else?
Advancing.
Rebel gunner. No, that's not, huh?
Through the smoke and gunfire.
Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Really now?
Victory is imminent. Indeed.
Hey. All rebels are clear.
A disorganized rabble should not be capable of bringing down a world like Ryklad Minoris. Is the governor exerting every effort to restore order here? I am not convinced.
If the governor is sincere in his faith and service to the Emperor, then I am confident that he is doing everything within his power.
The stars are my canvas, and anarchy is my brush.
Well. Clear it.
Unlocked.
Successful.
Oh, off the chainsaw, plus 10 parry. That would be for you, yeah. Pulse warrior. Yeah, it's just an upgrade. Fortress world.
What lies
Beyond.
beyond?
What do we have here?
The sun will rise one last time, the final time.
From your vantage point, it does not seem like this lavish mansion has been damaged by explosions, but you cannot enter. Something is blocking the entrance from the inside.
That seems to be the common thing a lot of the times now. Something is blocking it from the inside. Something is blocking it from the inside.
A powerful explosion destroyed a large part of the bridge,
There
both
you'll
above and
see.
below. Could
Oh,
someone
yes,
still be alive
they
in there?
all will see.
Okay. So, I know for a fact what's down there. And that's not something I want to tackle right now.
The Emperor favors me today.
We're going to go on a bit of a mining clearing trip here. We have a... We're going to hit these guys here.
Oh, glorious spectacle of your demise.
Pascal is first.
O Messiah, grant me the wisdom to perceive.
Acolyte. Okay, so we want to place ourselves barely like somewhere like here. And we start.
My vow is to serve a significant value. Running binaric override.
Get that. I don't remember what this debuff actually does. It debuffs weapons.
Martyrdom is a reward.
Break their morale.
A tantalizing anomaly. A wicked thought. Ah, another one is shattered.
God Emperor,
Afford
move
to
through me.
protect.
Be the fire in my heart. I'll do it.
Make use of everything
As
you
the
have
Emperor
at your
commands,
disposal,
I
pretty much.
act.
That is the key amendment of Rogue Trader.
Faith without deed, with earthly deed, strike is a prayer. As the Emperor commands, I act.
That's a fire start? No, it's just a cultist.
Pull down
Oh, that's not good.
the glory of my masters.
Fire starter is going to burn. It's going to hit almost everyone. Oh, a full dodge.
I serve the ruinous powers.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. It will be done. That's not the Seneschal's job. At your beck and call. A tactically sound approach.
Okay. Okay, Idra is here. Idra will scream at him.
Was that you? Or
That's one of the more interesting things. All psychic abilities. Okay, there's one left here. Almost all psychic abilities have almost 100% hit rate. So that is something to take into account when dealing with a lot. If you shoot him in the back, I'm going to be pissed.
Let's see. Ah, another one is shattered.
Rejoice in battle! That is not the Emperor's will. Doubt is for the weak.
Discharges of the motive force fill the air.
Death to the weak. Out of my way.
What is that? Dark prayer. Nothing in. Okay.
Victory is imminent. I
Can't
took
have
care
you
of
do
this
that.
one.
No.
My place is at the fore. It will be done. Reduced to dust.
Okay.
Patience. My nerves are frayed.
Okay. We are now going to clean out. Line. Yeah, goods here. More goods there. Do we have anything in here? Not from the looks of it, no. More goods over here. That is a mesh west. Okay, Oh, we missed a bit of loot over there? There was some kind of loot over here somewhere?
I wake.
We missed looting this guy, didn't we? No, goods. Okay, yeah. Not something like life and death, but still really good to actually pick up. Let's do a bit of a re-equip. Throw that on you. That's good. Damn, the boots actually proc a fair bit, honestly. No more... We still have a helmet. 9+ fellowship. Don't have any officer type abilities. You are literally just the wrecking house. You are just wrecking house. Yeah, crippled leg, agility and movement, intelligence, perception. Okay, yeah. We have... You know what? We're doing this.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
Okay.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Sins hidden in the heart
Hey.
turn all to decay. I better myself through my service.
And we're heading down. Could be... Pick the lock. Shut off the steam.
This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment.
That has a lot of things, huh? Is it?
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Okay, nothing more there. Let's head up this route. Turn off the steam. I do not know what that actually is going to do to help us. Rebel trooper. Do we have an upgrade to you? 30 armor, 15 armor, parry and agility. That is... Oh, it needs to be heretical follower on that one. Base armor. 7. Okay. We're going into another fight. And I think it's time... Oh, you can't actually use that, can you? You can use it. You can't use it either. I know for a fact you can use it. That is probably the way to go. No, I want you to actually have a fire nade. You're picking on one of those. You're picking up one of those.
Request denied.
Incorrect armament, yeah. Need to gather up, and he entered us into combat.
Annoyance. Are you ready to die?
Yeah. We have Rebel Sharpshooter up there, yeah.
Guided by faith. I'll do it.
And we're going to move over here.
The enemies of the Emperor will
And
be
we're just
undone.
Going to hose
As
you
the
down.
Emperor commands, I act.
And you hit absolutely nothing.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
11 Rebel. Don't have vision on you. I can kill. 9, 11.
Will do. Farewell.
Okay. Dealt with you. Slap.
Not this Scryer's
Slap
job.
that on Agatha.
Let's get to it.
Okay, they're coming down this route now. That's great.
Scared yet?
That is exactly what I wanted. Because that means we can easily take care of a lot of them really quickly.
Let's get to it. Follow my lead.
Are you running in there? I'm going to... That's just about outside the range as well. How long is that range? That one is a bit longer, but Agatha is actually in range of that. So we're just going to snap a bit of fire on you,
Flames.
take care of you, and then
Another one.
move over to the next one. Okay.
Hold on.
They're going to gather in on us and glue.
I'm here,
What?
maggot.
Gloomy Rebel. Okay.
Let's make it quick.
Sharpshooter is the guy that I'm literally the most afraid of.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. Over there.
Okay.
Time to slaughter
Bring it
someone.
down.
Show me what you've got.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Okay.
I know what is to come.
Have the 2 spots there, nothing. Can't do that.
That is not
Can't
my
do that.
destiny.
Okay.
Let's get to it.
Okay. Run. Yes.
Let's get to it.
Get in there. Ouch.
Out of my way. Here we go.
Scared yet?
Let's get to it.
Rebel Trooper. 4 damage, not
Weapon
bad.
at the ready.
You're being a twat, you know that, right?
Step, I lead. Oh.
Insects begin crawling under your skin.
Activate calculated fury algorithm. Vital function successfully terminated. The Omniscient knows all, comprehends all.
What is it that actually grants when recoil is reduced? Okay, recoil. So that is really good with burst weapons and stuff like that. Fair enough, fair enough.
Let's get to it.
Let's make it quick.
There he is. Ooh, and that's why I want him gone. You just shoot. Okay, can I actually charge in there? Yes, I can. But I'm not going to. Because I have a feeling we're going to be a lot better off if I don't do that.
Time to slaughter someone.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
Okay, that's dog shit. That's absolute dog shit.
Anything else?
Okay.
Let's get to it. Out my way.
Rebel Trooper. Sharpshooter comes there, okay.
Here we go. My faith strengthens me.
Let's see.
Yeah, might be a stupid mistake from me there, but
What is?
it's 10 stacks of flaming now. Okay.
Heavy is the tread of his faithful.
Pascal is just going to
Significant value.
go as a tech priest does, straight into battle. Sometimes I wonder if he's more of a Skitari than a tech priest, but yeah.
Show me what you've got.
Rebel Trooper.
Let's get to it.
Okay. Rebel. Okay, you shot at me. Okay.
See what happens.
You're going to die next turn, no matter what. Okay, great to know.
Scared yet?
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Okay. We are now going
It
to
will be
hide
done.
here. He doesn't make...
Let's get to it.
He's not that great right now.
Guided by faith. Eradicated.
Okay. Idra, on the other
What
hand,
is this foreboding? What an unfortunate turn of fate.
I'm here, maggot.
Ouch!
Let's make it quick.
War is my muse. They flames, another one.
Nope, 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 nope.
A genius at work.
My vow is to serve.
And you missed everything for once, Pascal. That's actually
Let's
a
get
news.
to it.
I will endure.
Ouch.
Time to slaughter someone.
I've never felt pain like this.
Ah, fuck. I thought he has 1 HP. Fuck my life. I thought I was dead.
At your beck and one fewer target. Victory is imminent. It will be done.
Show me what you've got.
Shot in the back.
I've suffered worse.
Okay.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
Oh, fuck.
Negligible.
Schemes within.
On with you.
As the tactical imperative dictates. Running by Heretical, the Omnisire condemns you.
Okay. You got down, you're going to shoot at me. Great. Oh no. Okay.
Here we go.
Suffering is part of the trial.
Melee warrior. Okay.
At your
Both
beck
of
and
you.
call.
Okay.
Grey hair, sure hair. My ears are ringing.
Ouch.
Rejoice in battle. I'll do it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I am his
Really?
will made manifest. Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it.
Really?
Shattered foes in my wake. Let's see.
Insignificant value.
Let's get to it.
You're now going to shoot me, aren't you? Yep. Okay, yep, no, not too bad, not too bad.
Time to prove my mettle. Indeed. Reduced to dust.
Okay. We're
The
just
healing
going
is
to do
much
that
appreciated.
straight away.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
Okay.
The order is contrary to dogmatic protocols.
This is the last person, and it's that weird. Okay. Let's start looting. That's... Where's damage increased by? Okay, yeah. There's corpses everywhere, though. Right now. Yay. I don't remember. Memory serves me right, the sniper has a good weapon. Or is it in the box? Iconoclast, the wearer needs 4+ armor. The wearer of this helmet gains 4% of armor. This helmet also grants fellowship bonus. Equal to 0 because it's Iconoclast. And you? Is that actually a better bolter than what you have? It's the exact same bolter you have. Okay. There's a rebel there to loot.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Where? Okay, so there's a trap there. Okay. Goods there. What? Oh, more goods here. What is this?
Someone had the misfortune of resting here when the first explosions rang out.
Oh, my nerves are frayed.
Okay, we have goods here as well.
Unlocked.
I woke up with a feeling of wonder, as if a field of flowers was blossoming nearby.
Do we have any more?
A child was saved from death. 1,000 heretics were burning alive, begging and sobbing and howling.
Oh, and we leveled up. Okay, nice. We have now a new ability. A new ability we can use. And Orchestrated Flame. Target does not stop burning and no longer make tests to stop burning. Additionally, if a target is an ally, every melee attack that the ally inflicts full burning damage on targets of their, while they themselves now only suffer half the burning damage. That is really interesting. I think we're going with Firestorm though. And we're going to pump up our awareness even higher. What do we want for you? Weapon skill or toughness? Honestly, toughness I think is the best one. No heresy. Doing my part. Choose a common talent. A common talent. You know what I want? No plasma proficiency. I am thinking increase the health of you. That is what I'm thinking. Yeah, we're going increase health on you. Pumping your health up is a good way. Foreboding creates an area that lasts until the start of the cycle's next turn. Area plus perception. Willpower until the end of combat. I think powers used by Psyker to protect allies and smite heretics. Sanctus power used by Psykers to protect them. Okay, so I'm going to go down this route. Idra is going to get me like only like divining psychic powers. My character is only going to get fire psychic fire stuff. Perfect timing. All allies are currently affected by any psychic power gains. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. When an ally is under the effect, dodges, parries an attack. If the ally has a weapon capable of reaching its attacker. Oh. And has an attack. It costs 1 or less AP. Ally immediately counterattacks. Okay, so we want the perfect timing. Okay, yep. Logic, tech use. What? Tech use now. Logic, that's also. Pascal is going to have logic and tech use. Medicaid. Lore Xenos. Lore Imperium. You know what? We're pumping up the warp lore on you. Ballistic is already maxed. Then we're going to go into... yeah, we're going strength. Melee, flame and melta weapon against demon and psychers. Liffany devoted their allies area, wore him, gain 1 damage for single shot, attacks for 1 round. I'm trying to figure out what it is I want to do with you this time. Last time we ran her, which was really good, she destroyed stuff, really. But we ran her as heavy bolter. But I think genuinely just like go with more health. It's just a fantastic talent to get down there. Until the operatives next time, their allies also. And heal int damage. Okay, yep. Tech use complete. We are now dealing with this thing here. Tech use.
The anti-aircraft battery certainly was constructed a long time ago, long before the colonization of this world began. It comes as no surprise that the insurgents were barely able to operate it. Modern arms protocols are incomprehensible to the machine spirits of such an ancient construction.
Okay, so we can't do anything, just
the blast consumes the ancient weapon. The sky above the city is safe for flying again.
Great.
What lies beyond?
Yeah, that's a crazy person down there. Okay. We have the sewers left here, but I'm not going to touch the sewers. Collect. You sure? Cancel. Okay. I think we cleared out most of the things there. So, yeah. Come on. Come on, little... We've already been going for 3 hours. Sorry, 2 hours.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Serve the Emperor in your heart and deeds when you join the ranks of his illustrious army, the Astra Militarum.
What? Let me check over here. Do we have anything? No? It seems it hit it really quickly. One of the major hits.
What curiosity
We should deal
unveils
with
itself
this.
before me?
Attention to detail is the key to success.
Okay.
When the
Agatha,
faithful are idle,
you have a bit of
heresy
work to
grows.
do.
Never doubt me.
Someone
Duty
has
prevails.
set themselves up here with a lot
The
of
Emperor
traps.
favors me today. I better myself through my service. Duty prevails. Never doubt me.
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
Okay, what do you have over here?
Clearly oblivious to your presence, the soldier mutters incoherently and does not react to anything around him.
What do we have
This
over
ocular
here?
implant
Oh.
was a worthwhile investment.
We have Ancient Terra Monaco. Plus Lore Imperium test depends on the fellowship instead of intelligence. And gain +3 bonus.
Ah, one step at a time, amidst the madness.
Anything more
We
in
should
here?
deal with this.
Oh, we see. Oh. Okay, we're going to have a look down here now.
Ha! There will be no peace in my wake.
More people raving, huh?
The Sunday will rise one last time, the final time.
This mechanical door leads to the lower levels under the upper way.
Okay. We gain XP for that, right? Yep.
Some 10 people, children among them, are huddling together in fear. The elder family members are doing what they can to calm the young. Several armed insurgents are watching the frightened yet unharmed hostages, but the watchers themselves are looking around nervously.
Come to your senses, Harold. Look what you're doing to your own family.
A woman of about 60, grey-haired but still strong, is kneeling before a stocky man with a thick pure white beard, stretching her arms toward him.
Take pity on us.
Can't you see I'm trying to save you?
The man clutches his weapon tightly.
Only Aurora can help us. Why can't you understand that?
Upon seeing you, the man points his weapon at you. The other insurgents do the same.
Who are you and what do you want?
No. You tell me, who are you and what are you doing to these unfortunates?
I'm the chief. My former name, Harold, is meaningless now. I am a father leading his family to deliverance from woes, to salvation. Aurora has opened my eyes to the truth, and my children will see it.
What weapon do you have? That's what I'm interested in.
Harold. Spare us. Spare your children.
Pasquale's vox hisses furiously.
Layperson, cognition is not your primary function. You are saving your kin by holding them at gunpoint and believe that burning their eyes will grant them sight. It is evident that the author of the demagogic teaching that confused you meant to make a mockery of your deplorable intellect.
Abelard's face turns a deep red.
To cast your own children into the thrall of heresy, to drown your progeny in this filth with your own hands.
What are you trying to save them from? And who is behind all this?
At Aurora's behest. Aurora is a great prophet and a great warrior. Their face is shrouded, but their gaze pierces the veil of time and sees into the future. I always knew the governor's dogs were hiding the truth from us, and now, the day has come, a prophet has come to Rekad Minoris and opened our eyes. The end of the world is coming, the final dawn. And only those who accept Aurora's truth will survive it. Those who lack faith cannot grasp the truth and will not be saved.
Wait.
The old man is obstinate, but you sense that the confidence in his voice has diminished.
You have been torturing your own family in order to save them. You have been blinding them so they couldn't see the truth. I want to argue more because it's just more XP. You believe the lies. You are sold your soul to the arch enemy, but if you renounce this path, you still have a chance to be truly saved.
The old man sighs heavily.
I don't need your mercy. Protect my family, and as for my own fate, I place it in your hands.
Kill the old man. Your family will be taken care of. As for you, I condemn you to death.
The old man's body falls to the ground. As soon as the hostages see it, they start moving faster and soon disappear around the bend.
Anna, I feel like I should actually just kill them.
How intriguing.
Yeah, he has a bolt pistol. That's what I thought. Hello.
Pay attention. The Emperor favors me today.
Experience. And we leveled up again. Damn. We're leveling up a fair bit now. Sharpshooter, not really. Not really at all. Tenacity. I want to go for one of the Psyker power, Fire Within. Every time a Psyker kills or score a critical hit against 8 creatures in one combat, the Psyker next include melting armor. Every time an enemy suffers damage from a Psyker, the enemy's armor is reduced. When the Psyker is burning, the Psi rating is increased by 1. The Psyker's resolve is increased by 2. All damage over time apply. Psyker gain 10% critical chance. That's the one I think we want to go for. But at the same time, Psyker regain AP spent on psychic powers when failed degradation is lower. This we need level 14. What level are we? Out of curiosity, we're 7. Right? Yeah, we're level 7. Okay, it's going fairly fast, but yeah. Triggers an exploit on an enemy operative's damage by 1 armor pen. Applies only to first strike or projectile in burst. Okay. Expose the weakness. Reduce the enemy's toughness and willpower. By 6. Every injury, Death Worlder character. Every injury increases Death World's agility and willpower by 5. Every trauma counts as 3 injuries. You know what? Going that. Each we don't have a force weapon currently. While the sacrifice not in target's line of sight. Psyker or the Psyker isn't covered. All resistance test target. All the resistance test targets suffer 8 penalty. We are going this one though. The Psyker additional armor against fire damage, and this half amount additional against energy damage. It's that one, right? There's one that actually had stacking damage, but I don't see that one anymore. That's when you're on fire. That's not really something we want to do on a regular basis just yet, but yeah. A Psyker's power have a range of 2 cells or more. Have, yeah, that one. Okay, you are going. You're going athletics, and when an enemy attacks a warrior, the warrior's next attack against the enemy deals additional 6 damage. Yep, don't mind if I do. And you... what was it? What was it? Aftershock. Every time the Psyker deals mental damage from any source other than Aftershock. What is... Psychic Streak, okay. Aftershock, okay. At the beginning of every turn, the Psyker's allies gain. The first critical hit removes this effect. When the Psyker uses Divinity on an ally without an unnatural effect, an ally gains a natural lock. The first time in combat that an ally becomes a target of a psychic power, the ally gains ballistic skill until the end of combat. That's... Okay, so this one has totally different psychic barrage. Yeah. And unnatural lock. Combat medic. Healing an ally with a med kit restores additional wounds. No. I want chain weapon, bolt weapon expert. Yes. And we're going demolition on you, Pascal. We are working up aiming protocols. Pascal gains 9+ dodge reduction. We are just making it so he can do as much as possible. Okay.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue threat.
Let's have a look in here. Okay. They're so hard to actually see. Okay. So this area is clear as well.
The goods in this stall are a stark contrast to the rest of the nearby shops. The jars are labeled, all-purpose synth powder, fills you up no matter what. Made in Necromunda's best factories. Success is measured in blood, yours and your enemies.
Okay. I think that is most of it here.
They will see. Oh, yes, they all will see.
Okay, we are going to Command Center. Okay.
The formidable shells for large caliber weapons are being stored right in the command center. A solitary young tech priest is offering ceaseless prayers to the machine spirits of the command center.
Welcome to the Rykad Minories Command Center.
One step at a time.
What are all these enforcers and soldiers doing in this shelter?
These heavy chains
Why
are
they
used
not
to
on
adjust the height of
streets
the command
fighting back
platform.
against the enemies of humanity?
I presume it is because the governor does not wish to be without his personal guard, even behind the meter-thick walls of his bunker. Typical.
Okay, we're going to check this first before anything
This
else.
cogitator looks a lot older and more worn than the ones next to it. However, it has evidently been well cared for, numerous parts have been replaced, not a single key is jammed, and fresh seals with prayers to the Omnisar adorn its surface. One of the side panels has been removed. Bundles of gold-notched cables run from inside to a small data crypt that was connected only a short while ago. The screen reads: awaiting access code. You have bypassed the security layers. The cogitator is ready to reveal its secrets.
Sacred Computation 782-M-5-N.
Upon Lord Abel's orders, the archives of every Augur station on Rykad Minoris and the two primary satellites of Rykad's star have been queried. Said satellites are named Magus Maruf and Zephyr the Keen, after two great champions of faith, whose external cogitators were placed inside the satellite's cores after their shells perished. The purpose of the sacred computation requested by the Lorges is to uncover the external influence behind the ongoing insurgency. Computation result: positive. Multiple instances of interference and malfunction detected, suggesting that the ships moving across the system deliberately blinded the sacred Augur's eyes. The first of these ships is thought to have arrived 2 Rykad Minoris cycles ago, early in the winter. The most recent one arrived a month ago. Lord Abel's conclusion: the insurrection on the planet had been long in the making, with the participation of external actors. It is alleged that 2 cycles ago, Aurora arrived in the Rykad system, the rumored unholy prophet of the insurgents. The subsequent ship movements can be attributed to weapon deliveries. But what is the nature of their activity near Rykardiphilia? Governor Medinia's attention must be drawn to. The final entry cuts off abruptly.
Go to recent observations.
The satellite Magus Maruf reports that a ship has translated into the system. Its signature is consistent with the records of the flagship of the rogue trader dynasty, House von Valancius. The satellite Zephyr the Keen reports that a ship drifting nearby has hurriedly sped away. The ship had sent an encrypted Vox transmission to the insurgent-controlled areas of the surface of Rykad Minoris. Another transmission was directed to planetoid Rykardiphilia. Both transmissions were signed Brother Twilight. Their contents could not be decrypted. The entry contains planet-side coordinates marked as heavy Augur station jamming. Possibly a hidden insurgent base.
Okay. Talk to Tech Priest first.
The painfully thin Tech Priest turns sharply toward you. The sudden movement makes his chromed augmatics briefly clang. His grey eyes, set under furrowed brows, almost blend into the pale skin of his face, and he levels you with a heavy, dour stare.
Identification. Unit Logis Quartz Creme. Official trade representative of the Explorator Cognizance Fleet. The unit supervises supply routes in the Rykad system. Ensures the security of the combat arsenal. Performs commercial transactions and secures mutually beneficial contracts.
When the tech priest notices Pasquale, his eyes widen. His Vox unit immediately lets out a string of screeching binaric, a tortuously long tirade in which the volume rises and falls seemingly at random. When it is finally over, the Omnisara's servant bows his head in deference.
Unit Quartz Creme requests permission to transfer information. The rogue trader possesses a supreme degree of power. The potential to influence the current leadership. The ability to restore order in the Rykad system.
Permission to transfer information granted. What do you wish to tell me?
The tech priest says, sharply and curtly.
Haphazard and careless decisions on the part of the Rykad Minori's governor have led to unacceptable consequences. Communication with the Adeptus Mechanicus Sanctum has been lost. Troops must be sent to the hallowed electrodynamic cenobium without delay. Restoring communication with the electro-priests and ensuring the sanctum's security are our top priorities. You are the head of a rogue trader dynasty. Your position enables you to exert influence.
The tech priest pauses for a moment.
And pressure on the subjects of the Imperium. Unit Quartz Creme requests assistance. The actions of Governor Faisal Rykadi of Medina AF Coronis must be influenced. Demand that troops be sent to the holy monastery of the Adeptus Mechanicus. I observe that this world's authorities lack diligence in the performance of their duties. This statement is true.
United in their denunciations and brimming with righteous criticism, the pair in red exchange knowing nods.
What will I get in return for my help?
The tech priest stares at you without blinking.
Awareness of the fact that the rogue trader did not stand aside and has influenced the future of the hallowed electrodynamic cenobium, including the possible rescue of the most holy electro-priests. Unit Quartz Creme can promise no more.
I will discuss with the governor.
Unit Quartz Creme is grateful. The rogue trader is highly likely to successfully influence the future actions of the local authorities.
You're an explorer, aren't you? What are you doing here?
Retrieving archived data. Over 70 Terran years ago, the governor of Rykad Minoris and authorized representatives of the Explorator Cognizance fleet made an agreement. Its goal was mutual benefit through cooperation. Unit Logis Quartz Creme is the fleet's appointed trade agent. The unit is responsible for maintenance of the arsenal and the combat machinery. Blessed are the armorers, for there can be no Imperium without them. Blessed are the valiant warriors, for there is no end to the darkness without them.
The Omnisara's servants exchange short binaric mantras filled with intimidating solemnity.
Show me your arsenal. I accept commercial transactions. Okay, we have a basic helmet, a sniper, multi-key, stabilizing braces. When run a gun, they gain 1+ damage on the range attack. That's good. We have a plasma pistol. We also have metronome. If the wearer did not spend MP this turn, +10 to all the characteristics. First aid manual, gas cloud grenade, modified bolter. $4,700. That means we can actually move up to that and get a plasma pistol, but the bow pistol is tempting. No, we get up to that point, huh? So we get... We can add those to cargo. We can add those to cargo. I don't think we're going to make use of those. I don't think we're going to make use of those. Those can also go in cargo. Sniper rifles I want to keep. Those can go into cargo.
Unit Quartz Creme requests per...
How much do we get now? 5,000. That is a lot. That is a lot. But do we want to go? I'm not going to go down that route until
The
later.
tall, dark-skinned man turns toward you and greets you in a curt military manner.
Faisal Raikati of Medina AF Coronas, governor of this star system. Welcome to my temporary headquarters.
The man's gaze falls on Abelard. His eyes slightly narrow.
Verserian.
Abelard nods dryly.
Governor Medina. My greetings. I'm not seeing the convoy I'd sent to meet you. What happened? Did they fail to find and escort you? If that is so, I promise you their punishment will be swift and severe.
The convoy was ambushed and massacred inside trees, save for a private miraculously surviving. I'm counting on you to investigate the incident. What a curious exchange of pleasantries. Some kind of discord between you and Abelard?
No, of course not. An old misunderstanding. Over a century old by now. It isn't worth your time, Lord Captain.
Okay. Okay. Which one are we going with? Are we throwing him under the bus or are we being nice to him? Yeah, no, we're throwing him under the bus.
We will, I assure you.
The governor gestures to the guards.
Take the suspect away. And find the executioner on duty. He should be done with interrogating the captured insurgents by now. Your ladyship, before we proceed with discussing the matters that are of interest to you, there is a question I feel compelled to ask. It was only recently that Lady Theodora was the head of House von Valancius. I have received no word of her demise. How is it that you are now the rogue traitor?
My esteemed predecessor died at the hand of a cultist, made the Emperor incinerate their souls. I should be the one asking the questions. Our ship was attacked by heretics. They killed Lady Theodora. Our ship was attacked. Theodora was killed. I claimed the inheritance. That's all you need to know. Yeah.
The governor frowns, and a deep shadow falls over his face.
Rogue traitor von Valancius. Slain. Unthinkable. Please accept my deepest and most sincere condolences, your ladyship. Do not hesitate to let me know how I might be of help.
I realize you yourself are in a difficult situation, but my crew sustained heavy losses. I must replace my missing crew members.
I can offer you several thousand fine, obedient servants. However, I'm sad to inform you that I won't be able to do it until we've dealt with the insurgency on the planet. I'm sure you won't have to wait long. The rabble will soon be duly punished for their heretical scheming.
Okay, let's start with... Are you sure that you will cross the insurgents soon? My own impression has been the exact opposite. No, we're going with Tech Priest. Quartz claims you have not been doing enough to ensure the safety of the Adeptus Mechanicus monastery.
With a heavy sigh, the governor wearily covers his face with his hand.
Of course he does. That Tech Priest is very insistent. I ordered a squad to be dispatched to the Holy Cenobium of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They haven't been heard from yet. I'm afraid, this is all I can do under the present circumstances. I don't have a single soldier to spare here in the capital.
Hendrix von Kallax, an interrogator of the Most Holy Inquisition, is operating in your system. Do you know where he is?
The governor lowers his voice.
I do. Master Van Kallax has left for the hallowed electrodynamic cenobium. It's an ancient monastery of the Adeptus Mechanicus. I don't know what his objectives are. Needless to say, insurgent activity has been observed in the monastery's vicinity. But I suppose that's too petty of a problem for an agent of the Most Holy Inquisition. Besides, I have already sent a small detachment of reinforcements there. The weapon the insurgents were using to shoot down shuttles over the city has been destroyed.
Yep.
Now nothing is preventing you from returning to your ship. If you wish to find Master Van Calix, you should go to the cenobium of the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Notes of anxiety creep into the voice that rattles from Pasquale's vox.
On behalf of the priesthood of Mars, I, Magus Hanuman, am officially initiating my participation in the operation. I must inspect the state of the relic and assure myself that it is under zero risk of falling into heretic hands. According to the Catechism of Maintenance and Operation, my tech comrades were supposed to lock the monastery gates against lay people and activate the traps. I deem it optimal that an ordained magus should provide his assistance. I categorically object.
The governor clenches his fist.
As much as I respect the sanctity of your monastery, I have on my hands a whole capital that needs to be attended by the Omnissiah's servants. We have lost many eminent tech priests. Incidentally, one of them perished in that same monastery. Mechanical failures could occur at any moment. Putting it bluntly, you may consider yourself forcibly recruited into the city's defense forces.
Medini and Pasquale glare at each other, their unyielding gazes like crossed swords.
I like Pascal. I like him. This Magus is part of my retinue. You have no right to give him orders.
You mistake me for a fool. I know that he arrived separately from you, and I would bet my life that no.
The governor's voice dies down in the low growl of a drilling mechadendrite. Its tip is directed straight at the bridge of his nose. Medini clears his throat and grumbles stubbornly.
So this is the negotiation technique you have resorted to? Do you think this is the first time I have been threatened with a weapon? No, but this could be your last.
Pasquale's voice is akin to the sound produced by his drilling implement, steady and calm, but ready to explode at a moment's notice with the crunching of bone and the squelching of tearing flesh.
I am heading to the monastery because I must. Is that clear?
The governor mutters through gritted teeth.
Abundantly so. Magus.
Why so determined? It would be a pleasure to assist the Omnissiah's servants in reaching the sanctum.
Thank you for your cooperation, your ladyship.
The drill stops.
As compensation for your consideration of my request, I, Magus Hanuman, officially undertake to accompany you in the Rykad system in the role of bodyguard and to protect you at all costs until your life functions cease. But only within the limits of the Rykad system. You're Hanuman? Glad you're alive.
The governor raises his eyebrow and stares at the tech priest in surprise, but refrains from further commentary.
I wish to know more about the monastery.
The cenobium has been run by the Adeptus Mechanicus ever since the colony was founded. The sacred reactor guarded by its priests powers the entire planet. I can say no more. It is a forbidden place that even I have only been allowed to visit once before.
Why not shell the monastery if the insurgents have gathered there, or deploy a landing force?
Fulfilling this request puts the monastery in danger of major destruction. The consequences of this decision for the world of Rykad Minories could be catastrophic.
Pascal, what is so special about the cenobium? Fuck it.
2. Pasquale, what is so special about the cenobium and the relic? What is in there that has drawn the attention of an interrogator of the Inquisition?
I have never been there before, but I would presume that the sacred relic of the reactor is capable of great destruction should it end up in heretic hands. The fury of the freed machine spirits, once released from the sacred circuit, will destroy everything around them. The degree of damage inflicted may render the world of Rykad Minories uninhabitable. Heresy must be purged from those blessed halls. I declare any desecrator who defiles the relic's power a Category 3 blasphemer deserving of immediate execution.
2. What has perplexed you about my companion's name?
The governor looks at Pasquale with curiosity.
According to the reports we've received, Logi's Abel Hanuman set off for the hallowed electrodynamic cenobium a short while before it was stormed. I'm glad to find out that you're safe. Perhaps you possess information on Master Van Calix?
Pasquale's vox rasps in confusion.
My name is Pasquale Hanuman. Not Abel. I know nothing about such a person.
What do you know about this able governor?
I've never met him in person. That esteemed Logi supervised the work of Rykad Minories' Lex Mechanics for many years. However, he rarely left his cyber chapel, and I never had the honor of making his acquaintance. A true Angkor right.
Why did he fly to the monastery? That seems suspicious.
When a Logis of the Adeptus Mechanicus wants to go somewhere, we don't ask why, your ladyship.
Where can I get more information on this individual?
I would have suggested that you inspect the esteemed Logis' sanctum, but it was destroyed by the rebels. We recovered several data crypts and connected them to the cogitators at the command post. They might provide you with some information.
It is amazing that a mechanical voice from a Vox can sound so confused.
That name might have been used as a signal intelligible only to its intended recipient. In that case, its bearer might be Archmagus Amarnat. Initiating an investigation and data collection procedure.
Edira tenses up and listens, then turns around sharply to face Pasquale.
I can hear my friend Snide whispers through the door. Be careful on your search, Magus. If you stare into a shattered mirror for too long, you might see yourself in it, in every shard at once. Mending it is that much more of a tainted affair than, the new reflection is death-like.
Glad to be of service, your ladyship.
Are you confident that you will cross the insurgents soon? My only impressions have been the exact opposite.
Is that so?
The governor maintains his composure.
I'd like to hear your reasoning.
The insurgency heading based on Aurora, a prophet who is, according to their followers, possess mystical powers.
The rabble's usual superstitions. I'm sure this Aurora is a charlatan muttering some doggerel, which their dim followers think to be magic spells. This does, of course, warrant their eventual burning in the furnace of penance. But it does not point to there being anything special about this insurgency.
I can see that it's not in my power to convince you. Let us change the subject.
Of course.
My kinsman...
2. My kinsman Kunrad Voigtver von Valancius has betrayed our dynasty and the Imperium. If he is hiding in the system, I want him handed over to me.
Voigtver is a traitor? Why, any family, however noble, has an unworthy scion or two. Naturally, we will surrender him should we find him within my jurisdiction. Unfortunately, I have no information regarding his location. However,
the governor pauses to think.
We have a cogitator here at the command center. It's connected to a data crypt from Logis Abel's sanctum. It aggregated all the Lex Mechanic reports. Unfortunately, the access prayer for it is unknown to me. If you manage to convince the stubborn machine, you might learn something about Kunrad's movements. I'd hazard he fled from you on a ship, not on a pair of wings.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Do we have any new dialogue?
This cogitator looks a lot older and more worn than the ones next to it. I cannot see the secret design, but I can sense it, shackled in stasis. The minds of the initiated are slumbering in the neural harness of their vows. I am registering an impulse of change. I surmise a potential influence on the stasis of the secret design. There came a time when the spiral was turned into a circle, but the cycle can be discontinued. The revelation granted by the Omnisar to Logis Abel in the course of his Date meditation has been recorded verbatim. Logis Abel is seeking an audience with the Venerable Dara Impulse 6 who may assist in interpreting the revelation. A request has been sent to the Governor's Palace for a shuttle flight to the electrodynamic Cenobiome. A message has also been sent to the Furibundus system.
The cycle can be discontinued. I recognize the words.
The voice from the Vox is soft and pensive, barely audible over the static noise.
I believe I know the intended recipient of the message in the Furibundus system. It was me. Omnissiah, grant me the wisdom to fathom this mystery.
In this
Okay.
tapestry of
Okay.
a world,
So,
I
we
am
are going
the
to head
rogue thread.
to Void Ship because we need to recover.
Permission to report, Lord Captain. Over the past few days, I received several messages from different decks, complaining about anomalous behaviors in the ship's cogitators and servitors. The machine spirits are restless and rebellious, and no tech litany or ritual of pacification can rid them of this obstinacy. The tech priests can deal with the vessel's systems, but the servitors, they make errors in their tasks, disobey orders, change the assigned rituals, or sometimes downright freeze as if in a trance. A click comes through the Vox channel followed by a weary sigh. Lord Captain, occurrences such as these are caused by errors in cogitator calculations or have some other sensible explanation. I beseech you not to take after those who whisper about the ship being cursed or possessed. Edira joins the channel and chimes in playfully. Oh, don't start, old man. All these peculiar happenings have long since turned into local legends. A door slams shut, a lumen starts flickering. Folk have grown used to all that, so our resident ghost has decided to up the ante. I'm telling you, things are only going to get worse from here. The technomats inspected the servitors and concluded they pose no danger. According to the servants of the Omnisar, such behavior is caused either by the echoes of minds not completely eliminated or by manifestations of the machine spirit's will. Nevertheless, the faulty servitors make the crew's tasks considerably more difficult, and High Factotum Janris Danroke would like to discuss how he should deal with the defective property. He is awaiting your audience on the bridge.
Defective properties. Okay, let's head over to our friends on Fondafang. Stalker gloves. Okay. I want that chainsword. I want that chainsword. Yep. We can't get this just yet. Unwanted.
The astropathic station is dead ahead of the void ship. It is motionless. There is lifeless silence across its Vox frequencies. Its lights are out. Even those who have no warp sensitivity can feel the presence of death. It is here, lurking in the shadows. All of this makes reading the reports of the ship's astropaths, who claim to be hearing an incessant ghostly howl emanating from the station, all the more disturbing.
Contact the Vox. Contact the station. Deploy a scouting team.
The enforcers offered their prayers and proceeded to enter the uncanny station. What they saw inside was monstrous. Astropaths upon their thrones, not quite here, not quite now, smudged, as it were, across time. Servants reliving their horrible deaths again and again, only to be reborn out of ashes and blood into more agony a moment later. The warp manifested itself here, twisting the very nature of existence. The main hall was covered in a crust of psychic ice. A green-robed blind old man sat motionless upon a tall throne. He was quite literally embedded in the ice, yet he was still alive. And screaming.
Send Zachariah Weissen to the station with a squad of bodyguard.
Choir Master Weiss boarded the station in person and proceeded to the choir's hall. He stood silently for hours in front of a man frozen in ice, and held a telepathic conversation with him. Then Master Weiss offered a prayer to the God Emperor, and the unfortunate man passed away. Upon returning to the ship, Weiss reverently presented the Lord Captain with a grim trophy, the late choir master's amulet, taken from his frozen body after his death.
Nice.
The psychic shriek carrying across the Immatrium has been silenced, but this has brought the crew no relief. A chilling realization came to the astropaths when they discovered that the cry was masking a different sound, one even more terrifying and surreal. It was the melody of a cataclysm born from a warp storm of titanic power, so intense that the entire expanse must be able to hear it. It muffles astropathic messages and crawls into psychers' minds, evoking everywhere the same image, a dark, gaping, beastly mouth cleaving the universe in two. Now that the mad choir master has finally stopped screaming, the song of the Immatrium has reached the rogue trader's void ship too.
Order the station to be
A brief and chilling chronicle of the station's doom was found in the scribe's records. A warp disturbance of monstrous proportions wiped out half of the choir at once, turning the astropaths into living portals through which torrents of the Immatrium's energies poured out. Those who lasted longer bellowed and howled about a black rift that had split the universe into before and after, and a darkness that would devour the Astronomican's light.
Burn everything.
Void torpedoes shatter the fragile station. One can only hope that the unfortunate souls captured by the warp have perished along with their home.
We haven't...
Lord Captain, sorry to disturb you. Victis pauses, as if listening to something. It's pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seems to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Viserian's voice. In any case, I wanted to warn you in advance.
Here's the thing, like, do I want to do more heretical dogmatic, or do I want to do more heretical, more iconoclast? Because there's options where I don't really have a heretical options. Like, I've been just going on my gut feeling, and for good or for bad, I'm more on the good part when it comes to it most of the time.
The everyday sounds of the bridge are disrupted by voices raised in anger, Abelard's voice the loudest of all.
This is not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of a highborn brat out on a lark. Explain yourself, Lieutenant.
The young woman standing before Abelard strives with all her might not to quail under the onslaught of her superior's anger. She falters but then manages to look him in the eye and say,
I apologize, sir. But I must speak to the Lord Captain.
Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain, not least because I see you have already seen fit to disturb her. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence toward a higher-ranking officer will be logged on your personal file without delay.
Lord Captain. Lieutenant Avrilla Vent, requesting permission to speak.
Vent falls silent, and then adds rashly.
On a matter of extreme importance and urgency.
You may speak, but I want to hear a report, not a shouting match. Having two officers bickering full view of the bridge is unacceptable. I will not tolerate this kind of conduct on my ship, Abelard. Assign the lieutenant an appropriate punishment. Lieutenant, you have 1 minute to state your business. We're going with
I am sorry, Lord Captain. I thought that drastic times called for drastic measures.
Vent exclaims hotly.
This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks on orders to crush the workers' strike by any means necessary. But I am convinced that this step is unwarranted, and that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers.
Vent is almost trembling with tension as she delivers her speech, her face extremely pale. Abelard, in no hurry to intervene, lets out a skeptical huff. He glances at Sourback, who is standing not far from him, but she maintains a stony expression.
Lord Captain. I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Viserian. And to intervene in what's happening on the lower decks, because very soon we will have a mutiny or a massacre on our hands.
Vent reels off the last words as though she knows them by heart. She has clearly been preparing to say them for some time. When she is finished, she casts an anxious glance at Abelard, then at you.
Is there an insurrection is making aboard my ship, and no one has informed me?
I would not deem it a problem worthy of the rogue trader's attention. The lower decks, as it so happens, are in revolt. 30-some years ago, we even had a revolutionary leader rise up who dared to establish workers' rule across the entire ship. It took a month to restore order, but even 8 years later, we were still battling rumors that the hero had survived his execution and was on the verge of gathering people to fight against tyranny once more.
Abelard scoffs.
Needless to say, the rumors were baseless. As for the current situation, we have sufficient enforcers to deal with it.
But on this ship, the word of the Lord Captain carries more weight than a salvo from 100 bolters. I'm sure that if the rogue trader addresses the malcontents directly, she will quell the unrest.
I dread to think what problem you will disturb the rogue trader with next. Perhaps you will ask the Lord Captain to break up brawls in the mess room? I have already given you the means to resolve this problem, you simply need to use them.
If I may, your ladyship, sending a hit squad to crush the rebellion is a means of ignoring the problem, not solving it.
How did all this start?
The situation could boil over at any minute, so I'll give you the condensed version. It all began when the enforcers found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who'd been killed in a drunken brawl. We reported it up the chain immediately, arranged for a cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No heretics have been found alive. But the search has brought tensions between enforcers and workers to a head.
Where does the Seneschal come into all this?
I shall explain.
I beg you to hurry. Time is running out.
I will not hurry, since my competence is under scrutiny. I shall speak for as long as I see fit. There is an established order to the way things are done on this ship, and one of the pillars of that system is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the Seneschal's role to ensure that. I have always handled internal problems myself, so, of course, when I received information about cultists hiding on the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. So long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodora von Valancius will find refuge on her ship.
You were far too heavy-handed, Seneschal Verserian. Arrests, interrogations, mass punishments for entire sectors, it has driven the people to the brink.
Vent says bitterly.
Now there is a strike on the lower decks, in Depot 4, to be precise. 3 worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into an all-out insurrection. But when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force.
Abelard, what do you have to say about all this?
I see no need to add anything. I acted within the remit of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interests of your protectorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself, I have no objections.
For my part, I urge the Lord Captain to go down to the lower decks, stop the assault unit, and speak directly to the people. You will see that they are not lying, or harboring heretics. That way, you will stop the uprising before it begins.
Master's Arms, the ship's enforcers report to you, and yet you seemed hesitant to provide your own perspective?
Lord Captain, unlike Lieutenant Vent, I respect the chain of command and realize that it is not within my right to challenge my superiors.
Sourback bores her head in Abelard's direction. However, a moment later, a serpentine smile appears on her lips.
That being said, while I entirely share Master Verserian's opinion on what Fate Depot 4 deserves, I must note that this insubordination is a direct consequence of practices that he himself has introduced.
Mistress Sourback, I see you have decided to follow the lieutenant's example after all. Such behavior does you no credit.
Sourback, explain yourself.
The ship's regulations state that the Master-at-Arms is responsible for resolving all matters related to the ship's enforcers. And yet it is no secret that the Seneschal has a tendency to show partiality. Those enforcers and officers whom he has deemed particularly promising are at times given permission to approach him for tutelage. I cannot deny Master Verserian's experience and insight. The Seneschal has a record of fostering students who have indeed achieved much and demonstrated impeccable performance. However, extending such patronage over the head of their immediate superior encourages disregard for hierarchy among your ladyship's servants. Today, an enforcer goes to the Seneschal to report an order from the Master-at-Arms that they happen to disagree with. Tomorrow, they will go to the Lord Captain to object to the Seneschal's order. I notice a pattern in these actions.
Abelard, do you wish to respond?
Mistress Sourback, can you recall an occasion where I would encourage an officer to disobey their superior? Or one where I would overrule their order? Or show favoritism to those who merited none?
None, Seneschal, for there have been no such cases in the entire time I have served aboard this ship. If anyone were to claim otherwise, I would have them pay for insulting your honor with blood. Your conduct in this regard have always been spotless. Nevertheless, given your eminent position, a simple show of attention on your part is enough to erode the propriety of junior officers, inflate their sense of self-importance, and undermine discipline. That you distinguish some of them and know them by name is tantamount to walking around the officers' deck handing out gifts to officers who have caught your eye. It fills those you set apart with ambition and audacity, makes them stand out among the rest. Enforcers are meant to be faceless servants, fighters ready to die, their fate entrusted to their commander and no one else. That is the sole foundation of order.
It appears I have unearthed an old squabble. I would prefer to be left out of it.
I dare not waste your time with such trivial matters, your ladyship.
What's in Depot 4?
Depot 4 is one of the poorest sectors on the lower decks. It is home to clans of general laborers. They are not as valuable to the ship as the families who have served its specialized systems for generations. They are an easily replaceable resource, and one which is now, more besides, giving succor to cultists and minions of the archenemy.
Depot 4 is poor and troubled. But at worst that means drunken fights and illegal rotgut brewing. We have handled the workers of Depot 4 in the past. We would have done so again, if the crackdown on Depot 4 hadn't been so harsh. And another important point to bear in mind, the problem is not limited to the sector. It is located on one of the most populated lower decks, and everything that happens there has a knock-on effect on all the neighboring sectors.
I've heard enough. I will go down there to the lower deck and deal with the problem personally.
Praise the Emperor.
Vent cannot contain her relief.
Thank you, Lord Captain.
Abelard grits his teeth slightly.
An enterprise bordering on the sophomoric, but please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you.
Lord Captain, I regret that the enforcers were unable to handle the situation, which then led to your and the Seneschal's involvement. I consider it my duty to go to Depot 4 myself and see to the expedient resolution of this incident.
Yep. Bam, ba, bam, ba, bam, ba, bam. Oh, we're going to the prison planet next. I think we're going to the prison planet next. No, we're going...
Abelard reflexively wipes the sweat from his brow in a startlingly human gesture, and a telling one, a rare moment where he allows his age and weariness to show through his armor-like veneer of self-assurance.
The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors.
Did you hear? They're shouting your name.
Of course they were. The organization of the daily, routine life of the ship rests upon my shoulders. The mountain of challenges and problems from which I endeavor to insulate you, Lord Captain. The situation on the lower decks has been a cause for concern, and I have intervened personally on more than one occasion. That must be why they remember me. They do not know your face. To them, you are akin to a creature of legend, one who has stood on the steps of the Golden Throne, no less. Whereas I am the man whose name is attached to every order docking rations or lowering a base heating.
Let's keep moving. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Something resembling a nest made out of thermal insulation material. This must be where the workers sleep between shifts.
Ooh. It was as I suspected. There is...
I still do not see our purpose in coming here.
The sounds of a heated discussion reverberate through the ship's bays. Lieutenant Avril Avent of the ship's enforcers is barring the path of her superior, Master-at-Arms Jocasta Sauerback, who has arrived clad in armor. Judging by their expressions and tone, the standoff has dragged on for some time already and has now reached boiling point.
Lieutenant Vent, my patience is wearing thin. I have given you an order. Now get out of my way. I cannot comply with that order, ma'am.
Vent looks shaken, but there is fire in her eyes.
This is my deck and my sector. So long as this area remains under the Lord Captain's special oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people who are authorized to make me stand down, the first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself.
So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears.
Abelard mutters in crabby approval. He does not clarify whether he means Vent, Sauerback looming over her, or both.
Your ladyship?
Noticing you, the 2 officers snap to attention and salute, their subordinates following suit a moment later.
What's the situation?
Your ladyship, my people have locked down the bay where the strikers are, including their leaders. We have the situation under control as far as resources allow. Under control, Lieutenant. I came here to lead an investigative unit, and what do I see? The rabble is on the verge of mutiny. There is nothing to investigate, this simply calls for immediate repressions and firing squads. And you, Vent, are a step away from facing charges yourself.
I will speak to the strike
Avelard's mouth
myself.
twists, but he restrains himself and says nothing.
Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck.
Hope gleams in Lieutenant Vent's eyes.
Our children are freezing. We've done nothing wrong, and we're being punished.
A dozen pairs of eyes stare apprehensively at you. The people before you are typical inhabitants of the lower decks. You take in their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation, from the barely discernible, to the strange, to the outright grotesque. A whisper passes through the crowd, and you detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy in their reactions. Finally, 3 people break away from the crowd, an elderly woman and 2 men. These must be the leaders. They bow clumsily before you.
Lord Captain. You have come down to us.
We were attacked on the way here, explain that.
Here's an explanation for you, the people have been pushed to their limit, and now they're lashing out. As if we don't know why these top deck units are being sent down here, like that one there that the lieutenant won't let past.
Our clans are all inside the bay that's been sealed off. But the lower decks are big, I'm sure there are some people who've had just about enough. We're getting it from all sides, the soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up, a death squad has just arrived. It's no wonder folks are lashing out.
Their words seem sincere to you. Their body language and the glances traded between them reveal that the news of the attack has shocked them.
Tell me about what is troubling you. Why are you striking?
Striking? That's news to us, your ladyship.
Says a tall, thin man in worker's garb.
All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think.
Shut up, Ribbit.
Snaps the old woman, who turns her hostile dark eyes on you.
Here's the deal, your ladyship. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for cultists, one wrong word and they're reaching for their batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to whole base for a week at a time, so we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of those enforcers.
The old woman spits on the floor and rubs at the spittle with the toe of her worn-out shoe. Argenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when the children's deaths are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign over herself.
It's all true. Vent is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks, and who grew up amidships and has no fellow feeling toward us.
The grim man with a scarred face throws up his arms.
Your ladyship, we're no villains here, we're honest workers, your servants. We've plotted no disorder, we went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace, without being harassed.
2. The persecution started apropos of nothing, you say? I was told that one of you was found in possession of a cultist amulet, and that there are heretics hiding here.
A cultist amulet? What's that? The gewgaw they found on the dead drunkard? If it was something evil or forbidden, we sure didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people, there have been no new faces around. Definitely not. And if there were, we'd be the first to report them.
And as for this amulet, or whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But when that fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies. The boots they came back with, nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine, I can tell you that. Seems to me these cultists have better commanders than us.
Oh, yeah. Those boots really were fine. And there was no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here. We all worship the Emperor, and when we're working we bow down before the machine spirits of the large and small transformers and the servo motor, the same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by a tech priest who came calling. Believe us, your ladyship, we are people of faith. I confirm the information regarding the proper tending of the machine spirits in this sector. Servitors indicate that these commoners are performing the sacraments they are permitted to know.
Naive children. Weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the archenemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? We were told, Holy Sister. But it was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I'd had my third little one. That is regrettable. But you cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will you blame when beasts crawl out of those amulets you stole from the heretics? The Holy Father who was not there, or the scavenger who brought evil down on himself and his neighbors?
You have anything to add, Abelard?
I authorized the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos worshippers hiding in this sector. The specific steps taken by the officers were not reported to me.
Abelard frowns, clearly disgruntled at having to explain himself in the workers' presence.
Nevertheless, I am certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedores, they are the enemy and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action.
Sauerbach, was it necessary to torture these people with gold?
The rabble understands only one language, Lord Captain, that of violence. As per regulations, should the laborers persist in their unwillingness to cooperate, the next step is limiting air supply and cutting off water, which is almost certain to restore order. The peasants can grumble all they want, but in the end, they are the source of their own misery. All they have to do is bow their heads and fall in line, and the need for punitive measures will disappear.
What changes do you want?
Would you look at this? The exalted Lord Captain herself is asking us bilge-rats what we want. Well, here's what: we want you to rein in your damned enforcers, to quit turning off the heat, and to stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here, and we want to be armed. Give us arms, and we'll govern ourselves, we'll defend ourselves if these cultists do show their faces. I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now, getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here.
You've gone too far, old Nan. They'll never let the maggots on the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down their necks. They probably even insist on enforcers on the upper decks too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first day's out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed the cultists' bodies, and we'll talk to them, one lower decker to another. If there are any more of those damned amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves.
You speak for yourself and your clan, and I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures, I want real change. They'll promise us the world now, but as soon as the Anointed One turns her back, these brutes will be on us even harder than before. All because we dared to speak out?
The tall worker's eyes dart between the two arguing leaders. Every few seconds, he opens his mouth as if planning to agree, but each time he falls silent, simply making a few vague noises of approval.
Masters Arms, where do you stand?
Give the rabble a grox, and they will take an agri-world, Lord Captain. They only understand brute force and will interpret any concession as a sign of weakness. Giving them weapons and recalling the enforcers would be folly. It would only be a matter of time before we had a full-scale mutiny on our hands.
Thoughts, Abelard?
The story about going scavenging for boots and accidentally picking up a heretical amulet doesn't convince me. These people were moments away from rebelling and, possibly, becoming minions of the archenemy. We must not give them what they want. Even if they did acquire something innocently, purely out of their own stupidity, that does not mean they are not tainted with corruption. What begins as petty thievery can turn into a far graver problem. I have seen it before.
Abelard's face darkens momentarily.
In my second war, there was a sergeant in the Imperial Guard regiment that was stationed nearby. The sergeant took an ordinary pocket knife from the body of a heretic, and his whole unit lost their lives for it. When they finally managed to break into the barracks, they found not a single survivor, only the pocket knife, which had grown through all the rows of beds like a metal choking vine. So, when it comes to scavengers, malcontents, strikers, or whatever they'll turn into next, my verdict is simple: give them no quarter.
We are not. You failed to convince me of your trustworthiness. This unrest ends now. Everyone who was involved will be eliminated.
No. Lord Captain. I swear my loyalty to you. I beg you. Have mercy.
The old woman spits in your face.
Curse you.
Sauerbach gives the signal and is the first to raise her weapon.
Yes, Lord Captain.
Suddenly, Lieutenant Vent stands in the executioner's path once again. Her face is pale and her eyes are wide with fear, but her lips are clamped into a firm line.
If you want to mow down everyone in Depot 4, you can start with me.
Vent, stop. This is treason.
Sorry. I've let everybody down.
It's not clear who her words refer to, Abelard, her comrades, or the striking workers who are now doomed to die. Vent reaches forward and grabs the barrel of the weapon aimed at the crowd.
For Depot 4.
For Depot 4.
Glorious
AHH.
spectacle of your
Darkness, take me.
demise. You asked for it. I'm powerless to act. The storm approaches.
Okay, let's do...
What? Darling, no. Oh, a predictable downfall. Oh, a wicked thought.
I can handle this.
This way! Emperor, protect me.
Faith without deeds is worthless. You cannot escape their fate.
Okay. A majority of them have been taken out. Okay.
For now.
Pain cleanses the body.
I can't stand it. Stay vigilant.
I didn't really want to do this, but at the same time it feels like this was the thing that I would actually have done.
Advancing. The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Request approved.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. I will do my one fewer target.
I don't know if I'm getting anything good from this. I'm trying to think like a heretic. That is my main thing with this. I'm trying to think like a heretic.
Emperor, protect me.
And that's the biggest problem, I think. Dodged it. Oh, nice.
Break them around.
Pain is but an illusion.
This is complete bedlam. Are you satisfied, Lord Captain? Then, may I suggest we leave this circus and discuss everything en route.
They will see. Oh yes, they
This page is where the
all
start of
will
each shift
see.
is marked. The last mark is missing, the workers went on strike. The heat sink warms the air around it to a scorching temperature. This is the warmest part of the bay. The workers have even dragged deck chairs here.
Okay. So there is a puzzle from my memory with the valves. I don't remember how it is or how it's solved.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Inside the box, a string of scratched letters runs along the edge, different first names but the same surname. It looks like this box has been passed down in the family from generation to generation.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
A container can be seen beyond the massive bars. Perhaps examining the pipe will allow you to reach it.
Oh, okay. So...
There will be no peace in my wake.
logically speaking... Okay. I'm looking at the things that look similar to that one. Not that valve.
Over there.
Patience.
Oh.
My
The gauge
nerves are
shows that the
frayed.
steam pressure in this pipe is close to the maximum. However, it does not reach the bars at the other end. Huge pipes, the arteries of the ship, run through many bays, delivering air, water, heat, and the propulsive force of steam.
Nothing is happening. Perhaps turning a different valve will work. Nothing is happening. Perhaps turning a different valve will work. Nothing is happening. Perhaps turning a different valve will work.
Okay, nice. So it's the blue ones you deal with to open it.
Unlocked.
Success is an irrefutable certainty.
Okay.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Okay. Nothing here.
Stopping unexpectedly, Abelard imperiously dismisses the unit to stand at a distance, and addresses your other companions, saying,
I have an urgent matter to discuss with the Lord Captain. Please give us a moment.
Abelard looks at you, and his last vestiges of restraint vanish.
Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You made a harsh but necessary decision. But before that, you danced to the tune of a panicking junior officer. You put your life at unnecessary risk in the midst of a potential uprising. And your actions triggered everything that followed. If you hadn't given Lieutenant Vent false hope and then snatched it away again, she wouldn't have snapped. You had no business going anywhere near the lower decks.
Um,
3. Give me a reason why I should continue listening to your advice and trusting your judgment. Right now I don't see any.
I think I would only be too willing to trust, not fill my head in such matter, but the situation spiraled out of control.
Abelard's face relaxes slightly.
You're right. At least as concerns junior officers making complaints directly to you. And
Abelard stands straight at attention.
I lost my temper, Lord Captain. And I believe I ought to explain myself.
Abelard speaks slowly, the words not coming easily to him.
The prosperity of the von Valancius Protectorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw in Lord Captain Theodora's deeds the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds, they create order out of anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I come from a long line of officers, and I embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods, to distant frontiers, on scouting voyages, and the advancement of the entire protectorate rested on my shoulders. And then suddenly, everything that had been built over years and years began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hanger on a seismically active world. One of the senior officers betrayed us all, the rogue trader was killed, and who knows what is happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I am not panicking or grieving because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty-bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out in the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess to requirements.
Value what Theodora created, and I trust the situation isn't aberrant in the ship's otherwise smooth operations. I understand, but you need to learn how to respect me as your Lord Captain, Rogue Trader. Accept it and start living in a world where Theodora is gone and where you and I have a new decisions to make.
Abelard solemnly inclines his head.
Yes, Lord Captain.
After a moment's silence, he adds, looking at you with interest.
Your resolve is admirable and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this moment, should my old habits ever begin to creep back in. And now, please, let us leave the lower decks. If the rogue trader desires to stretch her legs, there are far more suitable places.
Okay. Okay. You could make an argument that you shouldn't kill everyone there. You should let a few of your soldiers die as well to get more resources if you're really like, yes, get everything. But no. And we're level 8. Leveling up fairly a lot. Target also provokes an attack of opportunity whenever it attacks. That's good. Logic. Pascal. Cripples, reducing weapon skill. Okay, you. Until the end of the turn, each of their area deals damage equal to the number of attack targets. Until the end of combat, fire rate is increased by 30%. Until the end of combat, the soldier's attacks. That one. No, that one. And you are going warp, right? Yep, warp. Abelard becomes priority target. This turn melee. 2. I think that one. Got ourselves some more bolters. More daggers. We can use that to cargo. We also have... We got ourselves this thing. This thing... If worn by Psyker, the wearer gains the immunity to the horrors of the warp. That is great, honestly. When the wearer kills a target with an exploit using single or dead shot, the nearest enemy can immediately gain 1 fellowship. The wearer gains 6% armor. Fellowship bonus. Critical hit with single shot and dead eye. I don't think we're going to use that, honestly. You're just hosing people down most of the times with a weapon, so let's throw Let's throw a bolt rifle on you. That's probably going to be a good idea. 9 to 4, 6 to 9. Yeah, that's a good one. Armor penetration. That's just a better one. Yeah, it's just a better one. Add to cargo. Add to cargo. Add to cargo. Add to cargo. I don't want... Most of the last weapons, like, I don't have anything against them. But it's just like... I can make more use of them if I just add them to cargo than do anything with them, personally. What I have is better. 30 armor. You know what? Equipping that. You are in heavy armor. Yeah, you're in heavy armor. Not going to make use out of any of those at all. Increase the wearer's damage. Yeah. I don't... Here's the kicker. I'm wondering what weapons I should use other than what I have. That's the thing I'm contemplating right now. Rakad Majoris is the one we're going to check.
Augurs notice a large object among the lifeless rocks covering the planet. A void ship, whose signature and origin are impossible to identify from orbit, is resting on the edge of a deep ravine. The hull of the unidentified vessel is severely damaged, rocks around it shattered by the force of the gigantic machine's crash landing. The augurs haven't detected any vital signs aboard or near the vessel. The landing party reports via Vox as soon as they touch down. The colossal void ship before them is covered with spikes. It resembles a morbid beast sculpted from darkness itself, menacingly hanging over the ravine. An experienced veteran accurately determines the origin of the unholy vessel. It belongs to the Xenos race called Druckery. Ready to collapse at any moment, the void ship emits a long woeful creak as if promising to drag along into the abyss below anyone who dares to disturb its slumber.
1. Abelard suggests finding out what Xenos were doing in the Rycad system. Taking heed of the Seneschal's recommendations, the rogue trader orders to send more people to the planet.
Yep.
After 2 watches of hard labor, the workers managed to stabilize the Druckery void ship. The soldiers who entered the vessel were met with lifeless bodies of Xenos who had died when the void ship crashed. The void ship itself, following its abominable nature, came to life, immediately craving to sate its wicked appetite for human death. The vessel's systems have reacted to the intruders, and senselessly cruel, deadly traps have been activated on all decks. Monstrous contraptions designed to mince, rip apart, and incinerate their victims took the soldiers by surprise but were neutralized before the squad suffered significant losses. The soldiers found several curious pieces of xenotech on the sinister void ship but no data that could shed some light on why it came to the Rycad system.
Okay. And that's going to be it for today. We've been going at it for almost 4 hours again. This game, just time disappears when I play it. Yeah, and that's going to be it for today. Yeah, good night, everyone. If you actually see this on YouTube, just this is going to happen every evening around, what is it? 6 o'clock Central European time. I'm going to be streaming this every single evening. In the coming weeks, pretty much.